What If by me, C.R. Mobley. It started on October the 15th, 2016, and it was completed on November the 10th, 2016. This is my poem. I own it. I created it. It's mine. What if? What if we lived in the land of the free and the home of the brave? Would you still hate me? Treat me like a runaway slave? What if I looked like you, talked like you, lived like you? Would my presence still intimidate you? What if justice was truly blind and a jury was really a jury of my peers? What if I had all the power that you have and your money too and did to you what you do? What if you admitted that what was done to the Indians was wrong and that slavery and the Holocaust happened and that you put the Japanese in concentration camps and the immigrants in detention centers? Would it kill you to offer reparations and apologies? What if you shared the wealth and spread it around like a communicable disease and children were no longer hungry or homeless or abused? What if, as a politician, you actually did what you promised and did what we, the people, really wanted, instead of being pimped like cheap whores walking the strip on a Saturday night by big corporations and lobbyists? What if we all decided to stop voting and stop pretending that the Electoral College really speaks for us? Who would be president then? What if there were consequences for abusing a woman, grabbing her by her honor and her glory, or molesting children, or making the victim feel like shit because she decided that you were not what she wanted? Would we still say it's the victim's fault? Or just locker room talk? Or just the good old boys having fun? Or maybe it's just love? What if that victim were your mother, your sister, your daughter, your friend, your auntie, your wife? What if we turned the tables and used our power and wealth to violate you, stripped you down to nothing, gang raped you, and left you to pick up the pieces of your fragile ego, paraded every sexual experience you ever had, and measured you by the size of your trick, graded you on your performance in the bedroom for the entire world to see, made you feel less than, grabbed you by the balls, and poked you in your yoo-hoo? Would rape still be acceptable? What if you told the people the truth? There are no Democrats or Republicans. It is just the haves and the have-nots working towards creating the new world order. What if politicians had to live on minimum wage for 1 year with no health care and no access to their wealth? Would there be reform or change in laws? What if racist, white supremacists, and hate groups had to walk in the shoes of those they proclaim to hate? Would we still hear chants of hate, see crosses and churches burning, accept genocide of any race of people? Would it still be acceptable to tell people to go back to? What if we gave the death penalty to those who falsified DNA, made fake rape claims, and framed folk for crimes they didn't commit? What if there really was consequences for large corporations and greedy people who deceived the masses? What if the stand your ground law applied to the kids in your homes, your neighborhoods, your schools, your churches? Would it still be acceptable? Would you still say they should have complied? Would you still stand by and do nothing? What if the media stopped perpetrating the lie that drug addicts are only in the hood and only poor minorities need to say no to drugs, and that good kids from the burbs never use meth or get high on heroin or drop dead from overdoses at parties or in grocery stores? What if we understood the difference between fact and fiction, the truth and a lie, opinion and reality? Could we agree to disagree? Would we recognize the truth? What if the disenfranchised wasn't just white men, but all men and women who worked hard to take care of their families but still struggled to make ends meet? What if parents of bullies took responsibilities for the actions of their children and taught them how to respect the differences of others? What if cash didn't rule everything around me and we did things from the genuineness of our hearts? What if we helped our neighbors instead of standing by with our cell phones and tablets recording the moment and putting it on social media for the entire world to view? What if doctors did their job and actually used their gift to heal us instead of experimenting with our health by poisoning us with those mind-controlled medicines, tricking us into believing that we can't be cured, all while creating more sickness and death? What if? We took the focus off of the wedding and made it all about the union. Would divorce be so easy? Would weddings cost so much? Would we be more careful of our choices? What if, before you became a parent, you had to take a parenting class, write an essay, and pass a test or two? Would we need the foster care system? Will we have so many abused and neglected children? What if the government stopped experimenting on us through our food? Would we be dying of cancer, struggling with obesity? Would there be so many people with diabetes? Could we cure mental illness? What if the prison system wasn't big business? Would there be so many folks on lockdown for insignificant and petty crimes? What if God decided to punish America, like the evangelists proclaim God does to Haiti every time there is a natural disaster? Would we acknowledge that we are no better than the third world countries we judge? What if, after we convince our men and women, boys and girls, to join the military, we treated our vets like the kings and queens who sacrificed their lives for us and gave them everything they need and a few of their wants? What if we acknowledged the foundation for which this country was built? Blood, deception, theft, slavery, rape. And stop saying, that wasn't me, that was my ancestors. Could we make a change? Teach our children to do better than we have done? Could we break the generational curse that is over all of us? Or will we continue to ignore the tears of the hopeless and the hurting, and step over the homeless and the lost as if they do not exist, using their backs as a stepping stool to our next goal? Pretend that everybody is living good. What if we measured every sin and crime and offense through God's eyes? Would there still be a difference between a little white lie and homosexuality? Would murder still be worse than the fallout from adultery? Would we be so quick to judge the flaws of others? What if, what if God's people, who are called by God's name, humbled themselves and prayed and turned from their wicked ways? Would we hear from heaven? Would our sins be forgiven? Would our land be healed? What if?